Next question, and that's kind of like a wrapper around the discussion that we had as to, well, I'm taking all the vitamins, my nutrition is on point, why my hair still is not growing? There can be a number of reasons, but the three main reasons are it's hormone related, it is your stress levels, and your medication or any other underlying condition. So when I talk about hormone-related hair loss or hair regrowth journey, it is often related to two main conditions. So first is the thyroid, so making sure that your thyroid is not hyperactive or hypoactive. That would be the first step. If you suspect that, well, you need to understand that first before you dive into taking any sort of supplements. And then the second part, the second type of hormonal disbalance that your body may be experiencing is androgen related. Now, if in case of males normally obviously have higher levels of androgen in their bodies, and that means that they have higher level of dihydrotestosterone, which is a byproduct of testosterone, and DHT, that's the commonly known molecule. It attaches itself to the hair follicles if they have receptors. What happens is that DHT has a hair follicle miniaturization, that's a mouthful. A hair follicle miniaturization effect. So if someone has a naturally elevated levels of androgens, and if they have more DHT receptors in their scalps, it isn't always the case. So not all males lose their hair at towards their mid-50s. Only a proportion of that. So some scalps, they have more the DHT receptors, and some scalps have less. For females, it differs because our hormone balance changes in two main events in our lives. So first is childbirth, so around pregnancy and childbirth. During pregnancy, you might notice more hair, and it's more luscious and it's more beautiful, and that is because of elevated levels of estrogen. And those of you that are approaching menopause, so in the perimenopause period, you actually have less estrogen and more androgen, so the hormonal landscape of your body changes. Because you still have the receptors in your scalp for that, you may experience some hair thinning. And that also is impacted by the reduced level of estrogen in your body. So that is one of the reasons why you may still be losing hair or experiencing hair thinning, even if your nutrition is on point. The second thing that I mentioned, and I mentioned it already in the video, it is stress. So here's the thing, no matter what you eat, whatever supplements, whatever vitamins, if your levels of stress are elevated for extended periods of time, your body is not going to use those nutrients to feed your hair follicles. It's going to take care to divert most of these nutrients to the life-supporting functions of your body, which is why it's important to have a look also holistically. So not only the things that you ingest, but also the tools, your lifestyle. So things like, I know the world is now becoming increasingly more aware and waking up to the importance of mindfulness and meditation. And absolutely, I often personally say crying is very good for hair growth. So another reason why you may still experience hair growth issues or hair loss even if your diet is on point, is stress. Like I've mentioned before, your body is not able to translate the nutrients, or it can translate those nutrients into what your hair needs. It diverts those resources to the life-supporting functions, and hair growth is not a crucial life-supporting function. So making sure that you manage your levels of stress, and whether it is by making sure that you do your therapy, you have a therapist to have safe space to reflect on your emotions and stress factors, making sure that you follow some sort of mindfulness practice, ensuring that you follow an exercise routine, because exercise is a natural reducer in high cortisol levels. These are all the things that you absolutely must do, even if you're taking heaps of biotin and collagen and all those common supplements for hair growth. Making sure that internally your body is ready to absorb those nutrients and divert it to hair growth is key. And then the third factor is understanding what type of medication that you are currently on that may have hair thinning or hair loss as a side effect. Now, it is very important to not stop taking your medication without consulting your physician. understanding what kind of side effects your medication has. So for example, birth control pills is one of the kind of common offenders and common suspects when it comes to any sort of hair growth, hair loss related issues. You may experience higher hair loss and hair thinning as a result. So just understanding what kind of medication that you're taking and that may impact your hair loss and then or hair thinning, and then that becomes a thing that you manage. So hair growth becomes an area of your life that you manage with your nutrition, with your, with your mindfulness practice, with your exercise, rather than something that you can medicate, because it doesn't work like that. Our bodies are very complex and they're beautiful things, but our bodies doesn't work that way. So if you're constantly stressed, if you're on some sort of medication that has a side effect that is hair thinning, just taking supplements isn't going to work. You need to look at it holistically. So this is what we do at the Hair Fuel. We educate people about hair growth science, and the Hair Fuel itself is a hair growth mask that focuses on the blood flow to your scalp. And I'm going to talk about the importance of blood flow to your scalp in the following episodes. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions specifically around hair growth, or if you have a question about anything that I said today, make sure to pop them in the comments below. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment, because we're going to be sharing a lot more educational videos around hair growth, the hair growth science, and looking at different supplements, looking at different techniques and tools available to you to grow your best hair.